With Greg Newsome as well. He's part of that secondary, obviously. And Warren Sharp, Sharp Football on Twitter, he had the best secondaries for 2022. Cleveland Browns slotting in at number 4, right between the Baltimore Ravens, who added in, Kyle Hamilton, among others. And then you have the Chargers, who added in J.C. Jackson from the New England Patriots in there as well. Number 2, Buffalo, and then number 1, Green Bay. Browns sitting there at 4. You still have Greedy Williams, who again had great performance last year. And then Martin Emerson, again, that first selection that they had in round 3, he's somebody who can kind of develop, again, if all things play out correctly. And, knock on wood, just no injuries there. But, he's somebody who can kind of develop and take his time. Casey, when it comes to, this unit in the secondary as well, it seems like there's a lot of potential for growth as well as, that youth in that back end.
And I think we need to touch on A.J. Green. He is a key rotational corner on the outside. It kind of frees up some players because what he can do on the outside. Now, I believe he does need to trust his technique more, but he always finds himself in position. And being an undrafted guy like he was, he put a chip on his shoulder, and he comes in, he competes hard when he gets his opportunities. And I think you'll see a huge uptick from what he had last year to what he gets this year, probably eating the greedy snaps quite a bit. And I do think we need to touch on the fact that Newsome's going to see a lot more opportunities in the slot, which I know he's sudden enough to do it, and he's going to be able to hold up in the pass game, but he's going to see a huge uptick in his run fits. So how does he hold up physically? Because as we know, we're probably going to see Denzel miss a game or two, possibly the same with Newsome. So these other guys are going to have to step up. You're going to have to see a development out of Emerson, and he's going to have to be able to do some inside, outside stuff. But just from an overall, the cornerback position is solid. They're young. They're all in their physical primes. It's very exciting. And I think that if Grant Delpit could take another step forward this year, that can really put the secondary over the top. And you could be looking at the premier unit in the league by season's end.
Yeah, and, Casey, the other part of that, too, is that when it comes to Emerson, getting a chance to see him a little bit at minicamp, he's got that big build. You see it with Greedy with the height, but, you could tell he's a little bit lanky. MJ Emerson, he's every bit of that 215 that you expect out of him on the outside, and he doesn't lose any of that athleticism while he's out there.
No, and he plays downhill. So I think that's where you may see him in the slot come in during running opportunities and kind of be able to fit gaps because he's a big man, and he likes to play downhill. He's not going to turn his back to the quarterback very often. So I think they'll use him in that kind of overhang role. You'll see him more in the slot at first. And then eventually they can work him into outside, but they don't need to rush him into that because of the personnel they already have with Greedy and AJ and then Denzel holding his spot down. So he'll be able to grow. They'll be able to kind of implement him and let him play to his strengths at first until we can get his feet under him.